righty, welcome back. Here's to you. It is a Freaky Friday. It's a TGIF, that's for sure. Doing a little Tito's Martini today, which is a beautiful way to start your Friday. I hope you'll join me with something. Now, one of the things that the fake news is actually letting out today, it's the biggest breaking news of the day. The first left-wing mainstream media network to report on Hunter Biden, and they're saying that the FBI is in agreement with the rest of us. Check this out. Okay? Let's not, I don't know why you're shaking your head. Tell me why you're shaking your head.
Because it's not ready.
Oh, okay.
A lot of stuff to get in.
Okay. Anyway, CBS, okay, the home of 60 Minutes, where they were killing Donald Trump just the other night, just Sunday night. And they are no friends of the Republicans. It's not a fair media. We know that. CBS has come out and said that there's some news in the Hunter Biden case that should shock the world. And now, as you know, the New York Post Twitter account is still locked by Jack Dorsey. But maybe this will change things. CBS News reports.
Now, a breaking news Sinclair exclusive tonight. A Justice Department official has confirmed to Sinclair that the FBI opened up a criminal investigation into Hunter Biden and his associates back in 2019, focused on allegations of money laundering, and that the probe remains active. Investigative reporter James Rosen has also spoken with a censor witness and has more on these allegations.
A Justice Department official confirmed to Sinclair that back in 2019, the FBI opened up a criminal investigation into Hunter Biden and his associates that is focused on allegations of money laundering and remains open and active today. Tony Bobulinski, thank you for joining us from Los Angeles. Separately, Tony Bobulinski, the former business partner of Hunter Biden, who has cited emails, documents, and other evidence to allege that former Vice President Biden was more deeply involved in his son's business dealings in China than either man has acknowledged, told Sinclair he was interviewed by the FBI in Washington on October 23rd with counsel present for about 5 hours, with up to 6 agents in the room at one time. He said the agents carefully examined the digital evidence captured on the 3 cell phones Bobulinski made available and told him he will be brought back for additional questioning.
They do list me as a material witness within the entire FBI on their computer systems, and it was a very cooperative, deep dive into all the facts across that time period.
In connection with what were you listed as a material witness?
In connection with the discussion of the Biden family, CFC, and other operations around the world involving other countries.
CEFC is the Chinese energy giant, effectively an arm of the government and the Communist Party, with which Hunter Biden pursued a $10 million deal, according to Bobulinski's first-hand account and a wealth of evidence now in the public domain. It was from CEFC, according to a Senate report, that Hunter Biden's law firm, through a company he helped set up, received approximately $5 million in the summer of 2017.
Joe, what's that all about?
This president paid 50 times the tax in China.
It was prior to the final presidential debate in Nashville on October 22nd that Bobulinski, a former Naval Nuclear Command officer with a Q-level security clearance, now a wealthy corporate investor, first went public with his charges about the Biden family, including his account of 2 face-to-face meetings with the former vice president. The FBI interviewed Bobulinski the very next day. Did you get the sense that the FBI had already been working on these related issues and matters prior to you making that public statement in Nashville?
My impression is everyone in that room was very aware of the sensitivity of the parties involved here and potential multiple impacts to this country.
Vice President Biden has denied having any knowledge of his son's overseas business dealings, but the authenticity of the digital evidence that Bobulinski has cited has not been disputed by the Biden campaign. The campaign's director of rapid response did not respond to our requests for comment. In Washington, James Rosen.
This is getting serious now, right? It is strange that the FBI's had an open investigation into Hunter Biden since 2019. It's the first the American public is hearing about it. But if you go back and you remember, the whole impeachment was because Donald Trump asked President Zelensky from Ukraine if he would be nice enough to look into Hunter Biden's corruption in Ukraine. And Jack Posobiec, who we go to all the time, he says, now do you understand? They impeached Trump on Ukraine to protect Biden. Okay? And it's so true. They're like, Jesus, we can't let Trump start looking into this because then they're going to figure out that Devin Archer and John Kerry's stepson and Hunter Biden and Nancy Pelosi's nephew are all in on this whole Burisma scam. So that's why they impeached Trump. Jack Posobiec is usually on the money with his stuff. Now, NPR, National Public Radio, this is funded by us to give us a free press. Why haven't any stories from NPR about the New York Post Hunter Biden story? Their answer is this: we don't want to waste our time on stories that are not really stories, and we don't want to waste listener and reader time on stories that are just pure distraction. Now, I wonder if NPR will now will start reporting on the story, because CBS News is now reporting that the FBI has confirmed that there's an open investigation against Hunter Biden for money laundering and illegal foreign practices. So maybe NPR now will start reporting on a real story instead of calling it a fake story. And this from KFox. James Rosen, former Staten Islander, reporting heavily on this. Justice Department official confirms FBI opened up criminal investigation and associates in 2019, focused on allegations of money laundering. Probe remains active. Okay? Now, Charlie Kirk, who we tend to follow here, is one of the uprising stars from Turning Point. He tweeted that the FBI is investigating Hunter's overseas business deals in December of 2019, while Donald Trump was being impeached for simply questioning those same deals. And Charlie asks a pretty simple question here. Why are we just learning about their investigations now with 5 days left? And he's not that far off. And he followed it up asking about why it's not a top story. And I wonder, why isn't this a top story? The presidential candidate's son, it's now known and confirmed by the FBI that he's under investigation from the FBI since 2019 for money laundering. Could you imagine if there was a revelation today that Donald Trump has been under investigation from the FBI, Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump have been under investigation since 2019 by the FBI for money laundering with Russia, Ukraine, and China and other places? Could you imagine if this was Donald Trump Jr.? We're not in a country anymore when there's two sets of laws. And Donald Trump's son will be thrown in the clink right now. Hunter Biden, we're just finding out, has been under investigation for almost a year. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with my buddy Michael Johns, co-founder of the Tea Party movement, right after this.